Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison here. Ethan wanted me to suggested a video that I do about a story I told him about switching from analog to digital TVs in prison. It was a big hassle thing. So we only got, first they started switching to flat screen. And the reason they did that is they're going to say they did that for the inmates. They did that because they're looking out for us. That wasn't the case. They did it for a couple of reasons. One, when somebody goes to hold, it's easier to store a flat screen than it is a a big TV. Second of all, they was becoming obsolete. The big TV, so they had to switch to flat screen. Somebody said, well, they didn't have to do anything. It's a privilege. You're right. But they also know taking TVs away is going to cause more problems. So, we got the flat screens. And the first ones we got was real cheap, and everybody's having problems with them. And, some of them wouldn't work, but maybe a week or so. And then they started gradually getting better, and I don't know how good they are now. I'd have to ask somebody. But then the government came out with a thing that everybody had to switch to, from analog to digital. Well, when they first switched to digital, everybody was just amazed at the clarity of the picture. Everything was enhanced greatly. You could see more details on every little thing. Like one guy said, you could see every blade of grass. But a guard, this guy was telling me this, a guard passing by goes, yeah, well, you guys would see a penny drop. He goes, that's just you guys. But anyway, when they got to digital, they started we got a bunch of channels. Instead of like 40 some, we got a whole bunch. We got like chill, we got a bunch of music channels. It was all kinds of stuff. And what I mean by music channels, it just played music over and over. You really couldn't, it wasn't videos or anything, it was just songs coming up. And you could pick whatever you wanted, rock, country, rap, Mexican music, all this. But what they didn't like is they didn't like this grown adult men watching channels that had like porn in, showed sexual situations. So they started trying to filter these out. But when they started trying to filter the bad channels out, it was bleeding over into other channels, and you was getting a lot of pixels coming up, and the screen would break up, and so they, it's true. So we thought they was trying to take the digital away. I didn't know that they was trying to filter it first. I thought they was trying to just get rid of all the channels, take us back down to 40 again. That wasn't the case. So a bunch of us went back to the caseworkers and talked. And we said, hey, the government said you guys have to use digital. And I remember talking to the caseworker, and the caseworker said, we are using digital. But we're trying to filter out the channels we don't want you having. Because see, several years before, Matt Blunt, the young governor, said that we couldn't watch rated R movies and up. We couldn't even watch movies that wasn't rated. So there was a lot of channels we couldn't get. And so he said, that's what we're trying to do, get rid of those channels. And I said, I remember telling the caseworker, I said, we're a bunch of grown men. We're not children. It's not like, well, you censor your TV from kids watching certain things. He goes, no, but we're censoring adult men in a prison with pinup rage and urges. I, whatever, you know. They eventually got that fixed, somewhat. Kevin and a few others tell me that the channels have went back to bad again. They're not so much pixelating like they were, but it's just bad channels that nobody wants to watch. You know, they got QVC on there and Home Shopping Network. There's a lot of other channels. So most people just watch like ESPN and things like that. Of course, they got the channel. I think it's 2 channels in Licking anyway, in South Central Correctional Center that where they rent movies and show them on those channels, and they show them all day long. They're in a loop. They just go over and over and over and over, and until the next day, and then they switch. And they usually buy movies that last for like a week, and then they have to get more. But when these we was having trouble, and they was trying to filter out some of these bad channels, some people, certain TVs and in certain places, you know, were able to get actual porn. And so you'd have people coming over to the cell, and people would turn their TV around and say, look at this, you know. And but that was only, not everybody was able to get that, you know. Just certain people. But anyway, I told you before about me and Ethan both have talked about the technology and stuff, and everything's clear and see through. And when I got out of prison, I gave a lot of my stuff away before I left. But I remember before I left, guys tell me, he said, man, don't give your TV away, don't sell it, because they don't really care about the other small stuff, you know, the electric razor and stuff, but the TV, they'll come and they'll hunt it down, and they'll take it from whoever has got it. And you won't necessarily get in trouble, but they will. So I sold everything pretty much, you know. I sold, yes, I still had cassettes. I sold my cassettes because there was a guy who had still had a stereo, and sold my cassettes. That's funny to me for some reason, thinking about it now. But I still had cassettes back in 2016. I sold my electric razor, a bunch of other little things, you know, my Walkman. But I didn't sell my TV, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, you know. It's like, what am I going to do with this thing? Nobody else out there wants this thing. Now realize this is a 13.5-inch clear see-through TV that costs $245. And people out here laugh about that. They say, man, you can't hardly find a 13-inch TV. But if you do, you know, he said, look at these 60-inch TVs. He said, $300 you can get one. And so anyway, I get home, and by the time I get home, it was late because it was a long process, and then going all the way across the state and everything. So the next day, you know, I had stuff in a couple boxes. Next day, I opened the box, and there was that TV, and I said, that's my old prison TV. And I was going to say, does anybody want it? And before he was even out, Ethan says, I want it. Can I have it? And he just, before I could even say yes or no, he snatched it up, you know, and he got it hooked up. He had it for a while. I don't know why he was fascinated by that, but he seems to be fascinated by the prison technology. He finds some of it funny, but he seems to be fascinated by it. The tablets and everything. We once had a tablet that was from a prison when they first started coming out with tablets. I don't know where it came from, but I think Somebody got it at a yard sale or something as a novelty thing. I should have kept it. But anyway, that's all I got for you today. And I thank you for watching. And see you next time. Bye.